My name is Kyle. I make multiple six figures for my clients. I've made myself personally tens of thousands of dollars. And in this video, I'm going to walk through what it takes to be consistent and how you can get to the point where you are consistent. And as you can see on the screen right now, I have made personalized loom videos. I've made over 1,500 looms. Now, a couple of those are like status updates. I think only that 80 section, but 1,500 of those looms I've personally made and sent. And I started doing that last year. But before that, I used to do 100, 200 cold calls every day because I was a setter for multiple different sales offers. And then even for my own business, when it was a real estate marketing agency, I was still doing 100 cold calls every day. So I've done 10,000 cold calls and I've sent about 1,500 personalized looms, which are each around 2 to 5 minutes long, where I personally look at someone's business and say, what I would improve and how I would go about improving it. That strategy has made me a lot of money, and in turn made my clients lots of money because then they trusted me to do what I said I was going to do. But the main thing I wanted to break down on what it takes to actually get to that stage is one. Back in 2024, 2023, when I was first getting into the business world and seeing what it takes to be successful, one of the first books I read was Atomic Habits. Now, the reason this book is so good and consistently stays at the top is because it breaks down, like I've never seen before, how to actually be consistent and how to actually continue with something day in, day out, regardless of the outcome, so that you can get the outcome. Now for me, the biggest thing I took away from that was the things you want to do, make them super easy to be consistent with. Like for example, if you want to run every single day, every single night, fill up your water bottle, put it by your front door, have your shoes there ready to go, maybe even sleep in your running gear. That's like some of the things you can do. And that makes it so much easier to go out and act on that habit, act on those actions. Or two, you can also make the things you don't want to do even harder to do. So for example, if you want to stop eating so much chocolate, stop buying it. For example, just don't buy it. And then that's one of the things. If you want to stop smoking, stop buying the cigarettes. Or maybe you move to a different area where it's less people smoke, or you're further away from a store where you can buy them. Like that sort of stuff. You need to engineer your lifestyle to make the actions you want to do easier to achieve. Now for me, how that kind of worked is when I was doing cold calls, I do 100, 200, sometimes I think one day I did like 300 cold calls. And what made me get through it is because you get so much abuse. People telling you to F off, piss off, all that stuff daily, like, trust me, daily. But what allowed me to get through it is I used to watch YouTube videos whilst it was on like Alex or Mosey, or listen to music at the same time. So in between calls, if anyone knows Giuliano Massarelli as well, everyone's seen his videos already, he's doing that. But genuinely it works. Listen to music in between, or watch videos in between doing something hard. Now the reason why this works is because in the book he also talks about, I think it's not habit stacking, but it's like doing things you like whilst doing things you don't like to make the doing things you don't like easier. For example, you can, every time you get to 50 cold calls, you eat a bar of chocolate, or you take a bite out of a sweet, or you go and roll yourself with a drink. So then in this habit cycle that you have, the feedback loop is just completing the action. So for me, back in the very start, I was making no money and I still had to get these actions done. What I would do is like, if I complete 150 cold calls, I'm gonna play a game, read a book that I like, watch a TV show I like, and that's it. And then as a byproduct of just completing the actions, I was able to make money. I was able to get closer to my goals. But you have to detach from wanting the goal and just attach to, all right, I need to complete these actions, and that is it. So when people say you need to be like action orientated and detach from your goals, that's what they mean. Like for example, right now, trying to scale to 100K a month. My goals, I have processes I do every single day, which include obviously sending out personalized looms. That isn't to IG DMs as well. It's a bit more niche, but won't go into it here. The strategies I do to do that, I have to do every single day, day in, day out. And I need to increase the volume as well. But right now, I at least have a consistent volume that I'm sending. My goal is to just get those videos done. That is it. And right now, as you can tell, I'm trying to post a YouTube video every single day for at least 30 days. And I don't know, we don't know, this could be years. But my main strategy is to post every single day and do make 5 videos every single day. That is it. And if I do that, I then can go on a walk, I chill, speak to people I like, my friends, family, all that type of stuff, play games, whatever. Because all I'm trying to do is just complete the action. As a byproduct, the outcome arrives. So when you're trying to become more consistent, the main thing you need to do is really detach from the outcome and just strive to complete the actions. And I think that's the one thing that's helped me, because in my day-to-day, it allows you to have a much simpler mindset where it's, look, I just need to get this done, and that's it. And I'm not saying this is the quickest way to grow, because growth is takes risk. So even if you're doing these daily actions, if there isn't much risk involved, you're not going to grow as quickly, but you will grow regardless. So for example, if you're doing GCSEs, A-levels, so in the UK it's like exams. If you just say to yourself, look, if I revise for 2 hours and then play my game, that's it, cool. And as a byproduct, when you get to that actual test, because you've done that day in, day out with them 2-hour revision sessions, you'd actually be really good at the exam, because the actions you take will dictate the outcome that arrives. But you yourself only want to be attached to the outcomes, and your goal should just be to complete those actions. That is it. Because if you just focus on that, the outcome will arrive. So again, when you're trying to be consistent, and I really want to get this to be understood, please do not try to strive for a goal and then get mad when you don't achieve it. Because genuinely, I used to believe I was an underachiever, and it genuinely made me sad. Like, I was like, oh man, I feel like all these goals I set, I never actually hit them, right? And it genuinely made me sad. And I'm sharing this with you because I want you to know that if you just keep putting in the effort, you will. Honestly, you will get there. But what I need you to do is just keep going. Keep going. That's what you need to do. And the way you keep going is by just falling in love. You're not probably going to fall in love, but be so determined to just hit the inputs. Don't say like, all right, look, I want to hit 100K a month. Sweet. But all you have to do is just hit those inputs. Okay? And if you do that, you become consistent. There's also other little niche things I do, like I get into a habit of how I go about doing outreach or letting people know you exist, or advertising, whatever you want to call it. Get into a habit of click on this, click on this, click on this, and do it at the start of the day. That's also, I think, one of the big things. Get it done as soon as possible. Because as soon as you get out of bed and attack it, it's much easier to do, because you're not really thinking too much about, I can't be bothered, You just think, yo, I gotta do this. So yeah, that is how to be consistent. Hopefully this can help you even in the slightest. And if you take away anything from this, basically just fall in love with the actions, make it super easy to do the actions, make it super hard to do things you don't like. And then from there, take things you do like, take things you don't like, pair them together, and you'll be able to do the things you don't like that you need to do to get the goals and to get to where you want to get to. That's why people run with music in, because they're pairing things they do like with things they don't like. But anyways, that's all from me. Hope you found this video valuable, and I'll see you tomorrow.